spot BS. Post your favorite MLM pitch. I posted this in the failure forum because every once in a while we get some guy here trying to pitch us Fastlane as a great revolutionary MLM that is making people tons of money. Some will even show off their awesome $10,000 checks and their impressive Mercedes C-Class. I've learned to spot the funny pitches, and this thread will help you spot the pitches before you get roped into some low F-pipe dream. Please post your favorite pitches, phrases, or word combos. Here are mine. 6. There is a doctor in it. As if that matters. 7. You should see the doc's house. Yay, like he bought that house with MLM money. 8. You should see who is on board with this thing. 8.1 I'm looking for leaders and you're obviously a leader. Do you keep your options open? 9. I usually don't let people your age in, but I think you have potential. 10. I'm going to send a guy out to talk to you about this. You will save big with our buyer group. I thought you normally saved money by buying less. Pitched from a guy that I thought was my friend of 3 years. I never talked to him again, unfortunately. The guy was 10 years my senior. Some people never wise up. Our group ruins friendships. I think that's a good slogan. Compliments of the other thread. 11. Most are crap. But this one isn't. Wow, like I never heard that before. 12. I only joined because the executive team is so awesome. Yay, it's a bunch of rich guys who are only going to get richer because the wolves love finely tenderized sheep. I like it when one shows to a newbie how to cold call on people, and when these people hang up on them, try to rationalize why these people don't get it. 13. I only make money if I help you to make money. 14. Some people will be skeptical. That's because they don't get it, and thank goodness they don't. 15. Our best worker earns $10,000 a month. Actually the guy did it once. Met him. 16. Our best seller has now advanced to higher position and doesn't have to sell anymore. She has a big salary, travels the world and gets education at company expense. And so can you. 17. This one was funny. A friend asked me to accompany her to corporate meeting, because it was held in some out of the way, never heard of cafe, and she didn't want to go alone. It was some merchandise for women, can't recall. But there I was, sitting among dens of women, and listening to the pitch. Owner of our franchise really enjoys life. He likes skiing and riding horses, and he even has his own farm and stable. We will organize a visit to his property and you'll be able to see horses and him riding. This is real, just in case it sounds made up. And everyone was amazed by Mr. Handsome owner. They even brought a framed black and white photo of him riding a horse. One of the ladies tried to pitch me too. She said that based on my zodiac I'm a born leader and could earn a lot of money with them. 18. You're not an elephant to work for peanuts. And you're not looking for very intelligent people with that pitch, so thanks, bye. 19. Earning potential is practically unlimited. Now here's an easy way to earn $1 million. Earn these guys $10 million and a fantastic 10% is all yours. We are in a multi-billion-dollar industry. You are just selling products that your family and friends use every day of their lives. Amway is a billion-dollar company. You will get rich. You look like someone who likes business and likes to make money. Here is my response to one of these people a few years ago. She just couldn't grasp this concept. Huge flags. These are everyday products everyone needs. You could easily make money when you sell them to your friends and family. And, always the main one for me. You just need to buy this sample or pay an entry fee. I just got a message from a GF who was pitched. When she gave me the "you could sell this to your friends," I said, GF, this is how you'd lose all your friends. Never ever pitch this shit to friends, their parents, and family. Chances are they've heard this before from at least one other person already. Don't worry about the details now, Just sign up and start getting product to familiarize yourself with them. You'll understand in time. Come to our convention this weekend. The top seller in our state will be there, where we will be worshipping him and jumping up and down screaming like Tom Cruise on Oprah. On a side note, don't hurt me. My personal mentor is extremely high up in Amway, haha. MLM drone, €1. Oh, you can make a ton of cash writing down license plate numbers. The company I represent is building a huge database of where people go. They are paying people to write down license plate numbers wherever they go. Say you are at Walmart shopping. All you have to do is write down as many plate numbers as you want with the location of where the cars were at the time. You could write down 10, 15, 20, or even 1,000 plate numbers if you want. The choice is up to you. You get paid 0.50 cent per license plate. Sound like something you want to do? Of course it is. All you have to do is pay a small fee to get started. As soon as you sign up, you can start taking down license plate numbers immediately. The fee is $300, and then you only have to pay a $59.99 recurring monthly fee for a personal website we will set up for you. But here is the kicker. For every person you sign up, you receive a $100 bonus. All you have to do is sign 3 people up, and this fantastic opportunity pays for itself. Me. What if I don't TMT want the website? MLM drone, you need the website to enter the license plate numbers you collected. Me, Kana TMT, I just build my own? I can find free hosting. MLM drone, no, the company has to ensure a uniform quality of information storing. Me, how is the company going to make money off of this besides the membership fees of recruits? MLM drone, they are going to sell the information to companies. At this point I know it is a Ponzi MLM. The company has no real product and the only profit model is recruiting more drones. But I ponder what the catch is. I think at 0.50 a plate number one could make thousands of income a month, maybe even a week. So I embellish on my enthusiasm, and take his card with his affiliate link on it. I go home and look the company up online. I read all of the terms and conditions that the company TMS website has. The toes was probably the biggest euro I've ever seen at the time. Somewhere between the middle and the end of the toes, I see the terms on payment for plate numbers collected. There it was, plain as day. It stated that it only paid for the first 10 license plates entered to the database every month. Basically you would be paying $300 one time plus $59.99 monthly to be paid a maximum of $5 per month. Once you were suckered, there was no other way to recover your funds except to sucker other people. Classic Ponzi MLM. The guy that pitched this to me used to sell legitimate utility payment solutions bill pay to bodegas. I owned a 30% stake in a bodega at the time, so I saw this man frequently. The next time I saw him he asked why I didn't TMT sign up. I told him I have dyslexia and that I thought it wouldn't TMT be a business I could participate in. My business partner happened to be standing next to me at the time. This whole drone started pitching it to him. My business partner was gullible and I knew he would get hooked. He was a middle-aged gambling degenerate. What he heard, 0.50 a plate, a slot machine, went off in his head and he gave the €1. Oh, where do I sign up? Face €1. I immediately broke it down in terms of reality. I shit you not, the drone exploded on me. €1, oh, mind your effing business. €1, oh, you are effing with my business. €1, oh, what the FCK is the matter with you? €1, oh, you don't TMT FCK with a mana TMS livelihood. €1. Then the most epic thing happened. My business partner picked up the bill pay terminal cords and all, and threw it at the drone and yelled €1, oh, get the FCK out of Y store. And don't TMT come back. €1. True story. I know someone who is high up in an MLM, so her income is what most drones talk about, knowing someone who knows someone. But her posts are the most annoying thing on FB. Then all the little birdies feed at her feet, sucking up like she's going to help them. Also to note, this is the third MLM I've personally seen her in. Sure, she makes money, but she never stops working because the income isn't sustainable and runs out after 3 or 4 years. I'm going to be a flip-flopped CEO for 4 days. BTW, it's MLM convention, not vacation. Currently she's working in a weight loss MLM and had the nerve to make a situation she saw as a marketing opportunity. She saw a man collapse at the airport from a heart attack, which I'm sure is a sight to see. But then went on to say how if he had just heard about her opportunity he may not have had a heart attack, and it gives her motivation that her job is really good for people. I say all that to say this. Last month on a whim I took my wife on a week vacation for our anniversary with no set budget, so we could do whatever we wanted. No company paid convention, no incentive trip, just me deciding we should take a break and go. Why can I do that? Because I'm riding the F-King fast lane, not an MLM ego trip. Of course there are people ahead of me on the fast lane, but my experience was a small milestone I had set for myself, and I achieved it, without hawking products for a larger company that tries to convince me I'm my own boss. What's the goal of this topic? MLMs use phases that you can read in different marketing books, nothing new. Okay. I see this Google Ads banner every day since April. Well, it first starts with a friend to ask you to about a business they just started. Then comes the pitch. 1. I'm building a team and we are going to make bank. 2. All you do is sell a product to your friends, easy passive income. 3. Robert Kiyosaki recommends MLM. Wait, the same guy that gets kickbacks from MLM companies? 4. Dr. Oz recommends the product. And if you refuse to join, 1. You're too close-minded. You're gonna miss the opportunity. 2. Okay, you'll see me driving around in a brand new rented BMW then. These people have a scripted sales pitch, it's pathetic. They even get a success guide to ensure they become rich. Please don't forget that as soon as the MLM goes under they have to keep making lease payments on their BMW. Because they signed the contract, not the company. If a company is going to give me a car, it will be paid in F-King full. This is hilarious. I remember a few years back I almost went into an MLM as my friend invited me over to his house, and the guy talked about how he didn't really put in much effort but made $4K a month on residuals. I remember going home pumped up, listened to every single call and mapped out the processes I'd follow to achieve millions. All I needed now was a nice $400+ startup money. Thankfully, I was forced to use the money elsewhere and simply dropped the whole idea. With that said, we are the fastest growing company 3 years in a row. Easy as 1.2.3. 123 of what? Steps, sit-ups, sailboat trips around the world? 1. Sign here, 2. Credit card number here, 3. Submit button right here, and it is only $479.99 to get started. We will finance for you. Always ask how much the seller makes. Not how much one guy or people make or have made. How much do they make? I don't consider this to be at all impolite or improper, since the issue of how much is earned in a year is being touted in the pitch. BTW, congrats. You are now a dream stealer. I've got a story from Tuesday. The girl I've been seeing was messaged by a friend to see if she was interested in a lucrative business opportunity, if she wanted to come over at 8:30 to check it out. As soon as she got off the phone I said, 1 it's going to be MLM, 2 they're going to claim it's not MLM, 3 it's going to be at a very large house with free water and food, 4 the business is going to be extremely vague, 5 no matter what the product is, they will never reveal a straight answer on what your sales margins are, 6 their documentation will be filled with fine print, errors, and contradictions. So, we show up because I thought it would be interesting. And sure enough it was for ACN. I had never heard of this business before, but they pretty much are just a lead generation platform that contracts out services to big, reputable companies. 1. It's MLM. 2. No, it's not MLM, it's relationship marketing. 3. It was at a large house a few blocks from the main Microsoft campus in Redmond, Washington, with a mid-90s Lexus parked in the driveway. I laughed. For we watched an extremely cheesy, green-screened sales video for it telling us more about the business than the services that are offered. They kept revert to Donald Trump talking about how he's a billionaire and backs ACN. Ever stayed at the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City? The parking garage feels like it's going to collapse, and if it's wood or marble it's fake. Ha. Shittiest hotel I've ever stayed at in my life, but I guess that's how Trump does his business. Not only was the video vague, but the discussion after and their sheet of paper was even more vague. They offer services like phone services, wireless, merchant services, house services. I have no idea what paying for wireless means, and none of them knew exactly what they meant either. 5. On top of that, nothing had margins. You'll make between 1 to 10% on every sale. Then had every earnings report calculated based on 10%. For the 58 services they offer, 57 of them could have a 1% commission, and the wireless service that nobody could identify, meaning nobody can sell it, is the only one with a 10% commission. Ha. 6. The monthly bonuses were listed in huge print. Fine print says it's based on a percentage of the regional bonus pool and only calculated based off of new growth hires' sales during their first month. Basically, unless you land a guy who pulls in $250,000 in sales his first month, you're not getting that bonus. My favorite part of the whole hour was explaining to them that the marketing budgets don't get transferred back to the abos in this case. At Amway, they have their own products and put forth their marketing budget back to the abos. At ACN, the service providers they sell for are all extremely well branded, big names. It is not the same model. Ha. Running with that, I was interested in what their pricing was, considering they offered your everyday service providers who I even use. My guess was that their prices were not competitive because of the added cost of sales acquisition on top of their existing marketing budget. How many of the 58 services they were selling do you think they had prices for? Not 1. TLDR, went to MLM pitch, we laughed and we cried, and had a really good time. How else would you get someone to buy $20 soap when you could just get it for a $1.99 at Walmart? How else would you get someone to buy a $199 or phone service when you could just get it for $49 at Comcast? How else would you get someone to buy a $99 or Mo 800 service when you could just get it at $9 at Grasshopper? If a people would just critically think about this stuff. It's the same. You're paying for the 100 sheep that went before you. OMG. I have so many MLM experiences. I'm at my day gig. We're getting off early. I sure will be back. When I was a kid, I rarely got sick. Because I ate healthy food. The acai berry is a super healthy food. Me, is that right? Just curious. Were you exposed to the sun when you were a kid too? Yes. Why? Me, oh, never mind. So all you have to do is buy 1 case of acai berry juice for $200, and then you get 10% of every future sale. Easy money. Me, how many people have signed up? 2. Me, I see. So, after all is said and done, you bought a case of acai berry juice for $160. Well, me, and you want me to buy a $200 case from you? Yeah? Me, smks. I always feel kinda bad for them. I've never met a smart or socially mobile person in MLM. I'm sure they must be in there, near the top, but the peons are always the most world-weary helpless rubes who've ever lived. Bingo. My mentor is incredibly high in Amway and makes a killing as a standard Amway Igbo. Going to a rally and seeing everyone worship the ground he walks on is hilarious. I've done a few MLMs when I was younger. And direct sales too. Remember the Olympia Sales Club for Kids? One of the most annoying pitches I get is the "it didn't work because you didn't try hard enough" example, based on real experience. Equals 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 Mary Kay drone. You can make a lot of money with Mary Kay. Me, nope. I've tried it, and while the products are cool, there are plenty of saleswomen and the market is saturated. I'm just not interested in it. Mary Kay drone. You didn't have any success when you were a Mary Kay rep. Me, nope. Everybody and their mother was already selling it. Mary Kay, yes, we're the #1 company for women in America, but there's always room for growth and expansion. I find it hard to believe that you weren't successful. You probably didn't try hard enough. Me, turning hot under the collar, excuse me? Yes, I did. Mary Kay drone. I don't think so. Anyone can be successful with this company. You didn't have a good experience because you didn't give it enough effort. At that point, you won't get my attention, my respect, or any of my patience. If someone wants me to give them mindless adulation like that, they need to go beyond success. They need to do like what Jeremy Clarkson does, make a fortune doing something normal people would pay a fortune to do. I'm not against MLM, but I've just done enough of them to know it's not for me. The best MLM works because the products work and there's a limited number of reps in the territory. If you can get in on something early on, you'll reap the benefits because you're an early adopter. Pile that time and experience into the business and keep it moving. But more often than not, when you're signing up for one of these companies, you're down to your last few $100 and are sold on the opportunities it presents. I have done Avon, Mary Kay, Petra, Undercover Wear, Fine Choice Food Club, Primerica Bar, and considered Passion Parties, Bedroom Candy, It Works Body Wraps, Pampered Chef. More often than not, the person putting me onto the opportunity is almost always struggling at their day job and at this second gig. And they're more interested in pursuing recruits than selling the product. I'm not for that. When I know of and like something, I love to sell, because I do it easily and naturally. In my blogs, in my communications, and in my conversations with friends. MLMs are the definition of a dead-end sales job. I swear. It's not a pyramid scheme. You are invited to a My Business networking party, come meet other like-minded people. Goes to business party ends up being an MLM pitching nightmare and not an actual legit networking event or party. Cuss, ist, BGH. To me, it's not even a job. Cleaning toilets is a job. Babysitting screaming 4-year-olds is a job. Paying $600 for a starter kit off of which you barely break even by the time you realize what a sucker you were and quit isn't a job, it's stupidity as a formal hobby. You know how MJ talks about the commandment of time? This is like the reverse of that, where you end up working to pay for stuff you had to buy to earn the privilege of working. You can own your own business. And only have to manage 2 people under you. And if these 2 people are good, and manage 2 more people under them, imagine the compound growth. You'll be rich in no time. Not really. I would take a dead-end sales job over an MLM any day, as I would have a better chance to get paid. Since most networking parties are just people trying to sell you something, also, insurance, printing, etc., I would not go to one of those either. Lol, I heard one like this from a friend about Amway. He's like, you are a business guy, want to start another? I'm like, sure, if I can make at least $100K in the next year. He said absolutely. Haha, this guy is broke as shit. I asked what it was and he said it's this new thing called Amway. I said it is a joke to call that a business and that it is an MLM, and he told me they changed it and it isn't MLM anymore. Dipshit. Ahahaha, I hope you stick around. I actually wanted to kill some time with the dude just for fun, so I acted as if I was interested. Him, okay, now here's a spreadsheet, now let's take your phone and write all your contacts down in here. Me, him, also, if there's anyone else you know who is not in your phone book, include them when you get back home. Me, yeah, I actually left my phone at home so I'll fill them when I can. I actually answered his call on the way to the cafe we met in. Facepalm. Him, yeah, that's fine. Anyway, we could meet again tomorrow and call them together. What do you think? I actually wonder how it worked out for him. Amway was a new thing here at that time, so he must have gotten at least a couple of people into it. Love this thread. Don't worry. Came at just the right time for me, a time when I was already starting to realize the cracks in slow lane fiscal strategy. Why was my dad, a brilliant man from a universally highly motivated family, the only one of his 3 brothers to go to graduate school, and to Wharton no less, but also the only one that wasn't a millionaire? Why were people with far better jobs and double my income struggling financially while I powered out of my student loan debt and now have tons of financial security? Although the analogy has been weakened by the number of people who've co-opted it, the matrix bill thing is pretty apt. Once you start seeing the world this way, once you realize that sidewalking is a mentality and not an income level, one of the best points in IMO, and that time is the only resource that can't be exponentially multiplied. You can earn $5 billion, but $5 trillion won't help you live even 150 years, let alone the thousands of years it would take to slow lane your way to fast lane freedom. I think I'll be sticking around. Not really a failure sales pitch, but I witnessed the dark side of MLM. My old criminal justice teacher from high school got pitched and hooked by one of his former students to attend a Primerica meeting. He attended, signed up, made a decent amount of money his first couple of months, then quit his day job. Yes, he quit his teacher job to work full-time for Primerica. Long story short, the Primerica sales stopped coming in and his wife and kids ended up leaving him. It's really sad how these companies brainwash these people to believe in a sidewalk business opportunity. A couple of years ago my FB feed was blowing up with this company. Now I'm seeing a feed full of disgruntled distributors and even MLM gurus taking swipes at this company. Turns out, it's just another MLM fighting to stay alive. If you read the parent company's quarterly report, let the numbers do the talking. 47% revenue decline. Nearly 50% distributor decline. To quote the old 80s movie, War Games folks, the only winning move in MLM is not to play at all. And yet, I'm sure there will be thousands of people salivating to climb aboard a sinking ship. Class actions to spice it up as well. This thread is fantastic. My ex-GF was swooped into Mary Kay, was in it for a bit and was making slow money. She dropped out because she just got pissed off with her team leader showing off in her leased Merc and giving ex-GF too much grief and hassling her to sell more. She dropped out. Had a friend who was hooked on Amway, his whole family too. He was making slow lane money, always trying to make me go to his Amway meetings. To be frank, I knew to stay away from things like this. So he got my younger brother to attend this meeting and he walked out halfway. Ha. He said the people in there were like slaves worshipping this dude that ran the whole thing. So therefore he vowed not to be a part of that lol. Oh, and he also said they showed the secret video to everyone to, I guess, brainwash these people. MLM plus law of attraction equals fully fledged drone. I totally understand how a person can be sucked into the bullshit pitch due to maybe unforeseen circumstances. This is the harsh truth. Most people out there are so blind, some very stupid, they will fall for anything, and halfway down the line, when they don't reap benefits, they wouldn't even think to observe the company but just pedal backwards. But there is a good point in MLM. Once an MLM fellow approaches you with his or her cheesy pitch, you get to scrutinize their beliefs and earnings, then dig very deep into his psychological thinking and mind FCK him or her until sees sense in what he has been pulled into whilst you just laugh lol. Isn't Primerica an insurance company and not an MLM? The first thing to say would be that this is pyramid selling. You're doing pyramid selling? No, pyramid selling. I can't believe you're into pyramid selling. Listen. It's not pyramid selling, it's network marketing, and it's a guaranteed money making. Mark. I've seen the charts. Oh, the charts. There are charts. Why didn't you tell me about the charts? Are you trying to piss on my bonfire? I'm trying to protect you from pissing all over yourself. I'm not about to piss all over myself. I'm pissing into there. Big time. Courtesy of Peep Show. Unlike all other companies, this has a unique opportunity. Since it's a small town, I've heard 3 to 4 people using the same dialogue with some other people. My driving master made over $3,500 within first month and a bit more in the second month, and I didn't see him recently. Nobody else made it so well here anyway. Another common pitch: you'll get products for the joining fee you pay. I just love when they stop you and ask, what would you do with an extra $500 a month? And then actually sit there until I tell them. Oh, and the classic, well, 5 people, right? Like there is any person on earth that is going to say, nope, just you, my mom, and the guy you just bought my coffee from. I never actually joined any MLM stuff, but I am a huge fan. I've never sold a verb in my life and never will. That's not what we do. Interesting. So what exactly do you do? You shouldn't be so closed-minded. This is like when Google was starting. This sounds more like Enron. You have nothing to lose. I do actually. It's called My Time. We're not a direct sales company. So how exactly does your company make money? Next day she messages me again. Hey, we're having a huge meeting in Broward. Can I count you in? No, I have to go return some tapes. Well, it starts by you showing up in Broward. LOL. Aren't you tired of those MLM schemes? So are we. That's why for $50 you can become a member and then buy our products. I was ready to flip a effing table. So what do you do? Oh, I'm a leader in our insert bullshit MLM team here and I help people to make money online. I like that. How exactly does it work? Being naive lol. It's very easy and our team is very helpful. We have weekly bullshit webinars. If you join our team of leaders, implying you will become a leader, you get access to all our training videos and you get your own iframe domain website. It is only $25. So how do I make money if I join? You get access to your own blog where you can write about anything you are passionate about. Then people will find your site from Google and they will join and happened to a friend of mine who got invited by his friend. Hey bro, come with me this wed night, it's a ladies' night. Where we going? I know a place. We can check out some babes. Okay, see you then. Wednesday night. We're here. Let me introduce you to a friend of mine upline. Let me tell you about a business opportunity. In his mind, kidnapped. Here are some commonly asked questions that scream MLM. 1. Are you looking for a groundbreaking opportunity? 2. Are you the type of person that keeps your ear to the ground for a business opportunity? 3. What's your plan B? 4. Are you looking to make supplemental income? I can't promise you anything, but if you leave me your phone hash I may get back with you. He or she will most definitely get back with you if you hear these phrases. Run for the hills. Something else I find funny is when companies bash each other. Example, Amway rep: we have the most credibility of any other company. We have been around for 40+ years and 10 million reps worldwide. I am thinking to myself, how the hell am I going to make money competing with 10 million other people selling the exact same thing as me? Competitor Amway is a dinosaur, their market is saturated. We are on the ground floor, you better get involved before we hit momentum so you can ride the wave. Haha, I find it amusing. Great. Luckily for me, I've only encountered these people a few times in my life. A friend of my wife's keeps pushing that bracelet company. Wife felt bad and ended up spending $100 or so on some cheap bracelets. Lol. Was in a bookstore, and someone was trying to sell me on an MLM. I said no thanks, and was walking away, and she said, well, it isn't for everyone. Hopeful look, I almost took the bait, then realized it was bait. My favorite pitch ending. Oh, he makes 100,000. Pause and emphasis. Lol, there's always that one guy who's just killing it, that one guy who's probably the reason they got hooked into that MLM. That one guy probably never existed. Just persuaded my friend to not take advantage of the ground floor opportunity that was made available to him by a kind gentleman who enjoys watching other young people succeed. #dreamkiller or hashtag. My favorite line, so, what would you do with an extra $500 a month? My favorite answer, your mum. I still haven't been asked to join. Twice yesterday I heard, 1. It's okay whether you join or not. We'll always do what we do and always be here. 2. Act now. I try to stay believable when they ask that. What would you buy with an extra $500 a month? Crack. More crack. Why, you holding? They never call me. I don't know why. Mr. XYZ is making 5 figures a week. Mr. XYZ lives with parents and wears suits fresh off the rack at Sears. I'm starting a young entrepreneurs club, you'd fit right in. Just pass along your email, and check out Alex on our website. The guy sliding on the bends in his suit. He's just 2 years older than you. Posted to my Facebook inbox. These people are pathetic. And no, I have no clue who this person was who messaged me. Come on, MJ. We've seen your YouTube videos. You don't use any skincare products. PFFFFTT. On a more serious note, this kind of stuff is infuriating. I recently had an old co-worker reach out to me. Hey Dwee, it's been a while. Have you ever thought about trying a rap? No, I'm a late 20s male. Oh, and did you just imply that I'm fat? No, I haven't tried a rap. But you can F right off and you're now blocked. Good riddance. The first and only time I heard about this skincare line was this. A famous actor posted about his skin cancer operation and said always wear sunscreen. The post come up on the trending link in Facebook and I clicked it to see the relevant posts. People had taken his photo of his operation, and added a photo of their R+F sunscreen crap, then written a post starting about his operation and how he told everyone always wear sunscreen, then proceeded to talk about how they sold sunscreen and it's the best, message me for 70% off. Too many of these sheep had done this, copying each other. I didn't see a single positive comment on their posts and plenty of hate. I honestly think joining an MLM could ruin your life, or at least your social life as you know it. But, MJ. His products are probably the revolutionary compounds found in the Dead Sea. Come on. At least he didn't ask you for money to rescue the first Nigerian astronaut who's been lost in space since the 90s. I'd like to share with you also, I don't mind doing a nice shoes. I own an online company. I'm going to a business meeting. One of my former colleagues keeps calling and telling me about this glorious business opportunity that will make me money even while I'm asleep without any initial work and just $600 investment. Phone rings, conversation starts. Emmanuel, what do you think about the business? What is this biz about? Give me some details about it. Don't you trust me again? Of course, I trust you. This guy thinks I'm an idiot. So will you come for our meeting on Saturday? I don't think so, cause I have a project I'm working on. I can't waste my time on your crap. It seems you don't trust me. What do you take me for? Have you started earning from the business? Just come to the meeting, bro. At this point, I was pissed off. Can you show me your own proofs? Don't worry, when you come to the meeting you will see for yourself. Sorry, I can't come. I cut off the phone. If he really has a secret money printing machine, will he ever bother to know where I live? I don't think so. This was way back when I was a young impressionable college student. I was at a local bookstore thumbing through the computer book section, which was basically one shelf at that time circa 1993, when a guy in a shirt and tie approached me and said, "Excuse me, you look like a pretty smart guy. You ever think about going into business?" I said, "Yay, I've always wanted to get into business. In fact, I'd like to have my own business someday." He then said, "What a coincidence. My friends and I are looking for a business partner. Would you be interested?" I said, "Of course, what kind of business?" He didn't answer. Instead, he asked, "Do you own a suit?" To which I replied, "Of course, I do." He said, "Great. My friends are having a meeting this Tuesday. You should go to it. There will be others like you that are interested in becoming part of the business." We exchanged numbers and he gave me the time and location of the meeting. Fast forward a few days and about 45 minutes into the meeting, it was revealed I was in meeting for a well-known MLM company that is famous for selling soap. Every so often, I think back at the pitch and admire how brilliant it was. It used flattery and the possibility of loss opportunity to get me to the meeting. Honestly, I actually learned from it. Even though I never went back to another meeting, I apply for marketing internship position on Monster. Professional looking website, boasts Fortune 500 clients. We're innovating, working with Fortune 500 companies and growing fast, so we're going to teach you accounting, PR, HR, marketing, how to grow a business across 12 months. Proceeds to ask people on the street outside the office if they would donate to the Red Cross. Financial freedom. Financial freedom for the founder of the company. More likely put your family first. More like putting the family of the top guys first. Do your own thing. If I can't control it, it's not mine. Change people's lives and help them. More like helping the top guys to get rich and changing their lives for the better. I'm sick and tired of being surrounded by people who go from one MLM to another, desperate for cash. Really pull the true value of business into the mud. I'm a CEO of a company. Invest in yourself. I could not believe it. The one a friend asked me to go to, which later was shut down by FCC. I believe how brainwashed these people were. It was like being in a cult. My buddy honestly believed if he let me walk out of there without signing up, he was a bad friend. Sent from my iPhone using TaperTalk. A couple of years ago, I was approached by a young man asking for directions. We started chatting and he found out I was passionate about entrepreneurship and he invited me to come sit down with him and discuss a business opportunity. We sit down and he starts explaining all these well-known companies they work with and how easy it was to start making money selling for the company. I was skeptical, but was intrigued by the business model. I had never heard of MLM at this point, so I continued to prod him for information. He gave me somewhat vague answers and would not discuss his personal financial situation. Red flag, but I was still interested. After all, when you are in college barely scraping by, the promise of making $1,000 a month working a few hours a week sounds very promising. He told me the company was having a conference and normally the tickets were $185. But because he thought I had potential, he would let me use one of his extra tickets for free. I told him I needed to think about it, but he informed me I needed to make a decision immediately because we needed to leave for the venue. This high-pressure decision-making tactic worked. So I agreed to go. When we arrived at the venue, I saw a sea of immigrants and low-income Americans lined up anxiously awaiting to enter the conference building. This was red flag number 2. If this business opportunity was so easy and lucrative, why did nobody here appear successful? At this point, my BS alarm is sounding off and I realize this is nothing more than a get-rich-quick scheme that is used to bait low-income minorities into signing up. Nevertheless, I ignored my gut and stayed. Upon entering the conference, I was shocked by how many people showed up. The conference was held in a stadium that could accommodate 20,000 people and it looked as if there wasn't an empty seat in the house. This social proof began to ease my red flags and made me believe this could be the real deal. It wasn't. They had a dozen speakers come up to work the crowd up with stereotypical motivational speeches. You can do it. Work hard and don't give up. Don't let people talk you out of this opportunity. You can succeed. You can attain freedom just like me. The crowd would get so worked up and worship every speaker. I felt embarrassed to be there, but stayed because I wanted it to be true. I wanted making money to be as easy as having a few friends. Before each speaker came up, they had a video play beforehand showing off their material possessions, big houses, swimming pools, happy family, nice cars, etc. In one of the videos, I laughed out loud because it was showing off a 2000 BMW 3 Series. The conference was in 2014. This is when I finally realized this was all a bogus pyramid scheme. If one of their top guys, a diamond, is driving a 2000 BMW and thinks it is worth showing off, then clearly nobody here is making any money. The conference dragged on for what seemed an eternity. I contemplated leaving a dozen times, but felt the social pressure to stay because of how much the guy spent on my ticket. Finally, at 12:30 a.m. the conference let out. We all began filing out of the building into the parking garage and the guy continued to try and sell me on joining the company. After sitting in standstill traffic in the parking garage for another 30 minutes I had finally had enough and hopped out of the car and decided to walk back to my car. I didn't make it home that night until 2:30 a.m. and needless to say, I was irritated to have my Friday night wasted by such nonsense. I learned 3 valuable lessons from this experience. 1. Be relentless about guarding your time. Money and relationships come and go, but the clock is always ticking and you can never earn back wasted hours of your life. Use it wisely. If something doesn't respect your time, cut it off or leave. 2. Listen to your gut. If you feel something telling you that it's too good to be true, it usually is. Trust yourself and don't fall prey to other people's sales tactics. 3. Trying to compete with 20,000 other people to sell the same products is going to compete the profit down to 0. If you can't add value, then don't waste your time. You are just chasing money. Aim to enter a business where you can make millions of dollars for your effort, not hundreds of dollars. I usually don't fall for these sort of pitches, meaning as soon as I get a hint of MLM BS I tell them to get lost. But this guy was clever. We met organically at Starbucks and he talked big game. I thought I had maybe found a valuable, older, mentor-type entrepreneur connection. We met for breakfast, talked some. Then 2 days later he invited me to meet his business partner and him for lunch. His business partner must have said that shit about rich dad, poor dad 10 different times. But as soon as he told me that when we met later that day when they were really gonna lay the pitch on me, my job was to bring one friend with me, that's when I knew I had been had. Damn it. At least I'm not stupid enough to get roped in, all I wasted was my time. WTF is a virtual mall anyway? It's somehow gonna beat Amazon, while simultaneously making me $100K a year just by getting 3 people signed up for their own virtual mall. They didn't even pay for my food after I drove 30 minutes out to meet them. Assholes. This happened like last week too. This thread is very relevant to me right now. I love when people think they are hot shit because they drive a 10-year-old, $5,000 BMW. Enjoy paying out the ass on maintenance for your German mistake, attempting to impress other poor people into thinking you're less poor than them. Just the fact that they placed so much value on what material possessions these guys had attained shows the complete wrong mindset these people have or are instilling in others. Also, I like how you spelled out what you learned at the end. Great post. Had I lied about MLM, I would have sold a hell of a lot more books. But I have no regrets. Some express their opinion in authenticity, others tailor their opinion to what will make them the most money. Awesome post. Thanks for that story. It helped me to remember the same feelings I had after wasting my time on similar opportunities. The goddamn I've been had feeling. That right there is why I frequent this forum, and I'm so glad I found your book. You are the real deal, Mr. DeMarco. Sent from ISMN 920T using TaperTalk. This made me laugh. It's so true. In college I had a roommate who was a deadbeat. He did terrible in school, never had his share of the rent in time and had gotten his high school GF Prigo at graduation, so had a kid that he dumped on his mom during his weekends. I remember he used to get the card with money on it from the state for groceries. A real piece of work. I could always tell because his shelf would be packed with junk food at the beginning of every month. Anyway, he bought a 10-year-old BMW coupe that was red and clean, no rust, actually looked sharp. The alternator went out and he didn't have the $125 to go down to Advanced and buy it, so I gave him the money and held his Xbox as collateral. I knew to say even back then. Anyway, we were out several times or had house parties, and multiple times I would hear girls comment on that BMW being a hot car. I couldn't believe it. I think he paid $4,000 for the thing and it had just shy of 200k miles on it. They had no clue he was broke as a joke, and the thing has serious reliability issues. Engine knocks, not just the alternator. Simple people are impressed and attracted by flashy things. IMO. Faking a financial status to impress others is pathetic, IMO, and immature. I'd always rather be the guy who was loaded and nobody knew, but that's just me. Side note: that former roommate used to skateboard. He had a buddy that made a video to sell online of them skateboarding, didn't sell, and one summer they jumped in the other kid's family minivan and road tripped down to Florida to skate around and videotape it so he had content for the DVD to sell. The kid with the minivan paid for all the gas on the trip down. It was a free trip for him. The guy sponsored him, and you guessed it, my roommate was a pro skateboarder. And a 24x24 picture on his bedroom wall of him on a skateboard in some skate park for legitimacy, and the girls ate it up. I still laugh about that. I will give the old roommate one thing: he was the king of BS, so good and looking at something I didn't think was a big deal and spinning it to make it sound like the greatest thing in the world. I swear he could have been a garbage man and spun it somehow so he could pick up girls with it. Gotta give him props on that. I'm bloody glad you didn't. I wouldn't be here now, and I wouldn't have gained all the wonderful benefits from being a member. I give you a very sincere thank you for not selling out. This nice enough guy chatted me up in the sauna at the gym late one night. He didn't tell me what he did. He said he helps people reach their goals, part-time. He took my card and then 2 days later called and asked me to meet him and his wife for a business opportunity, from 6 to 7 at a coffee shop. The business was something he couldn't talk about. Found out he was with Amway. Lol. It's insane how brainwashed those people are. What's weird is other people at the gym have said this guy has talked to them. Do they train these people to go public places and chat people up? I didn't even see him work out. And it was late like midnight. He just came and talked to people and left. I think road or PD is massively overrated. It's not even real. Kiyosaki didn't have two dads like he claimed in the book, and the co-author sued his ass too. Rich dad equals Robert Kiyosaki. Poor dad equals any dad who bought the book. Whether or not it was real or fiction, and the controversy surrounding it. It communicated fast-lane ideas in an accessible way to the mainstream. I likely wouldn't be where I am if that book hadn't got me thinking differently years ago. I don't have a problem with fiction. But don't pass it off as fact, which is what Kiyosaki did and was busted for it. There's enough BS in this industry. TBH, I've read 10x more powerful stuff since reading a few chapters off-road or PD. I loved The Alchemist. That's fiction and pretty powerful too. Hate to admit this, but I fell for one of these in college. Only because I had 3 good friends making enough money to pay their bills and drive cars paid for by the company which they still have and own. It's definitely a short-term scheme to make the top dogs rich. However, I do have a buddy that is an absolute savage in sales and got in with a MLM company in the early stages and is now pulling in $24K a month. At 25 years old. Now he travels the world and takes his payout that he doesn't have to do anything for anymore and uses it to fund his fast lane business. He also has 23K followers on Instagram and pulls in money from there too. So for some people it definitely works if it's not their end goal to sell energy drinks to their friends and they take that money and put it towards building their own business. I'm not at all promoting MLM or saying that people should do it or not. I'm simply just telling you that there are a few people that really do make good money doing this kind of stuff. I just happen to know a handful personally. Not my cup of tea though. My life is consumed by MLM. My mum is a sucker for them. I love the woman and try to point it all out, but she's a hopeful one. My sister has fallen for a couple. Recently the manager at my gym has been trying to coerce me into buying into a business opportunity, smelled it from a mile away. Hesitated to tell me the company name, got it out of them. The first thing I do when I get home from the gym is conduct a simple Google search company scam, and funnily enough the first thing that pops up is 9 people arrested for fraud. These MLMs are a F-can cult, man, excuse the language. Bumpty Dumpty. I've been posting a lot in the Ethereum thread. If you want to see some MLM insanity going on, cryptocurrency is where it's at. 10-level deep referral programs on some of them, isn't that sweet? I just need to get Trump to sign up under me. This ain't MLM, but it's damn close. A friend of mine started seeing a guy who got really into those motivational seminars where they awaken your potential and all that crap. Sound familiar? The seminar is like $1,500 or something, and it's in LA. Best of all, there are 3 levels. It's like Scientology or some shit. She stopped seeing him. Shortly afterwards, he starts telling her how much motivation he has now and how much the seminar could help her. He wants to bring her on board, and he said he was considering getting his coach certificate. This same company, which has 3 levels of motivational seminars, also sells a coaching class so you can teach others these techniques. This also runs like $1,500. So, 3 $1,500 classes, plus a $1,500 coaching class. $6,000 to get the qualifications to hype people up. In the 3rd class, they teach people that they should bring their friends aboard because awakening others' potentials is how you awaken yours even further. What's the actual FCK? So if someone comes to you saying that something could awaken your potential or fill the void or break past personal and professional plateaus, run in the other direction. Have you guys ever noticed that people in MLMs never say exactly what they are? Like they will call it entrepreneurship or sales or mentorship and give you some cockamamie explanation about how it works, but they will never call it multi-level marketing. No, I don't hate them, like I don't hate anyone. I just find them incredibly cringeworthy and would rather they stay 100 feet away from me at all times. At some point, it becomes a cult. Or network marketing. That's a new one for me. The gentleman who came hoping to recruit me went through his presentation and even guaranteed me that I will make a whole lot of money. His exact words. Needless to say, he was a member for over a year, drove a super old, beaten-up vehicle and wore a pair of eyeglasses which was held up on one side with a makeshift piece of wire, which he attempted to mold as the handle to rest on his ear so it would sit properly on his face. Now, don't get me wrong about the super old, beaten-up vehicle part. I have absolutely no problem there. But eyeglasses, I don't know anyone who travel the world that built their fortunes who do that to themselves. Clearly, him being in the MLM for over a year proved fruitless and was an immediate injustice to anyone who joined a team with him as their mentor or upline. Hey buddy, do you have friends? If so, it means you have a potential of making residual income. The first red flag is when people who I've never carried a conversation with before or talked to in years hit me up on Facebook. 15 minutes of asking about how I'm doing and what's going on in my life. Then asking if I've heard about Advocare, Lula OSP. Event and was all over FB trying to recruit with pictures of a private Katy Perry concert they had at their national convention. If finding yourself in a convention center full of middle-aged women listening to Katy Perry and selling stretch pants doesn't make you question your life choices, I don't know what will. I was pitching a business on a service and then the guy turns it into a reverse pitch where he's trying to sell me on a course for $5,000. The owner of this business was also a consultant for this course. He was telling me that I was going to be a millionaire in 6 months. The course apparently teaches you how to take what's up here as he points to his head and bring it to life out here referencing the physical world. What's your credit card number? We about to get rich yo. Them, how would you like to make your weekly salary for 1 hour of work? Me, how do I do that? Them, call all of your friends, family, and everyone you ever meet and we will show them a simple presentation. Me, what if they say no? Them, don't worry, we will teach you how to be a sleazy bastard. Me, great, sign me up. Them, that will be $100. Curious, you still talk to this person? Don't even remember their first name or even if I have their number anymore. I don't know what's worse. MLM or people like Dana J. Fox claiming he's making $1 million plus from 1.5 years on Amazon FBA himself and a guy named Ryan Hildreth. They've already mastered the stock market and Wall Street day trading, affiliate marketing, and social media marketing, selling courses for it all. I swear they just buy courses like ties and reword the shit. There's a local entrepreneur working meetup near me. Been a couple of times. But it's been completely overrun by MLM peddlers, which has sucked the life out of it. Instead of meeting people, you just get pitched the dream and then they get bewildered when I tell them to cram it. Funniest part is, a lot of them are pitching the same thing so they get shitty when someone else in the room is also selling the same type of snake oil. The big new one is a miracle wearable patch you wear all day that releases vitamins and minerals only when your body needs them. Being into fitness, naturally I probed. Sick, what's in it? Mlma, hundreds of vitamins and minerals. Sick, yeah, but what exactly? Mlma, just all kinds of vitamins and minerals. Sick, okay. How does it work? I mean, how does your body only know to draw from it when it needs? Mlma, I'm not really sure. But since I've started wearing it I get up at 5 a.m. I used to drink 3 cups of coffee, now I need none. I never get tired. I've seen it change people's lives. Best thing was, when we started talking she just told me how tired and exhausted she was. Might need another magic sticker, darling. Another person I recently came across in Asia was a guy trying to tell me that he has a cream that cures cancer and autism. He said it was banned by the FDA and they're no longer able to produce it because they were shaking up the pharma industry. He legitimately tried to tell me that people were calling him crying because they need more of this cream for their children. Now he only keeps a private stash in case he gets cancer in the future. As my British friends would say, what a load of bollocks. That sounds wild. Doesn't sound like an MLM per se though, unless he's trying to sell it through that pyramid business model. Sent from ISMG 930 to using TaperTalk. Reviewing our discussions from last year, it seems had some great ideas in this regard. LOL, not sure if this is MLM line or just a shitty trend in job listings, but I see the term rockstar tossed around for sales jobs with unlimited earning potential. All the local ones are overrun by that too. They think networking means selling, turning all the meats into tripe. I've had a couple. This was early last year. I'd seen via Facebook a new health and wellness MLM kicking around my home state, and the person that actually contacted me about it, my ex-wife, hadn't spoken properly in 5 to 6 years, but they'd hooked her so much she approached me as I'm a natural leader. You know the balls TS strong in an MLM when people are hitting up exes about it. Haven't seen much about it on Facebook anymore, so that one obviously didn't take off. Latest, a mate of a mate knows the business I have and randomly started asking if I was interested in a cash flow positive income stream for my business. Just watch this 10 minutes video, it has all you need to know. Can my mate give you a quick 20 minutes rundown over the phone? It's proving so popular in your niche you would kill it selling this. To be polite, I did watch the video so I could find out the company name. Didn't take a lot of digging online to find out the previous products the same crew had tried moving and the trouble caused. I spoke to our mutual friend to find out the pitch he was given, and it was all the standard lines. My mate investigated them and tried to warn this guy, but the brainwashed automatic responses to being questioned were well embedded. Spotting the signs is great for avoiding people these days. It's so massively huge that Donald Trump will talk about us in his next episode of The Apprentice. And I'm still waiting from my ACN revolutionary video phone. I'll bite. As a recovering MLM or cult member, I was told to say stuff like this. If asked what exactly I did, I was instructed to say, they would go on to say, and this is true, that we require people to go through an interview and qualification process between 6 to 8 weeks before they could sign up in our MLM. It was all about leadership, mentorship, and weeding out people in an attempt to have members that stayed longer and were more loyal. In the end, it was really just brainwashing, but dressed up so well in the leadership or mentorship or entrepreneurship crowd that it becomes a cult that keeps people in for years instead of months. They've been growing like weeds across US and Canada in the past few years. All-time doozy of a response this week. What do you do? I help entrepreneurs move from active to passive income. How do you that? Kind of like Robert Kiyosaki teaches, yeah, but how? We have 3,000 to 4,000 products. Oh, so it's network marketing? Yeah? You know it. I've got to go now. You're already buying these products. You might as well make money back on them. I'd like to introduce you to my mentor. One was able to get me to one of their hotel meetings. Once there, I asked a ton of questions, none of which were answered directly. 5 minutes into the show, I knew what it was and was furious. I had never heard of Amway, but I had no interest. They had sat me in the second row from the front and in the middle. I stayed and listened to the BS. When the presenter asked for amounts people were making per month, one woman in the front excitedly said, $90. I swear I had a mini FTM. The best thing about being involved in the past, is now and in the future you can smell their bullshit a mile away. I'm grateful for my couple of experiences in MLM. I learned a few things about sales and marketing. And I learned to understand someone genuine reaching out to me as opposed to an MLM pitch. I have had recent experience with multi-level marketers. I had never encountered them before until now. I went to a business event and unknowingly got trapped by 2 MLMs. One drove me around in their Mercedes C-Class, kind of funny considering this was in MJ's opening post. Didn't speak to them again after learning it was MLM. The other one was ambiguous and spoke about mentoring. I only learned they were an Amway or Worldwide Dream Builders MLM after 4 meetings with them. My honest thought is MLM is a way to get rich. There are people out there who make a lot from it. But it's very manipulative and deceitful, claiming they want to help people but really they just want to rip you off. You are not helping anyone or creating any value. Anyway, lesson learned I guess. Most MLM people aren't ripping people off. They genuinely want to help others with their delusions of passive income fortunes. False premises yields false actions, not necessarily deception or ripping people off. And therein lies the problem. These folks actually think they're evangelizing for something new or novel. Agree with your thought on this. We used to own an MLM company and they see the few amazing, hard-working, sales kings or queens and then assume that they can do the same with no work. MLM is a powerful and amazing way to distribute a product, but it does rely on people believing in the opportunity of wealth and freedom via becoming a representative of the company. The few who have done it for years and built followings, or are simply great salespeople, do find success. Most just flounder and fail to work at the business or try without good guidance or realistic expectations. This is my view, hence why I say it's a way to get rich. I think some view it as a get rich without work and then scream pyramid when it does not work. The ripping off part I was alluding to was, from my experience at least, MLM talk to you all excited about helping people then tell you to buy their products and give them money. In my second experience it genuinely felt like they did not care and just wanted you to sign up. Any new pitches to report? I'm guessing with CV19 that the recruitment has intensified. Aren't you basically advocating for number 4? Yes, a real be your own boss, not a fake one. They tell you the products are working, but more interested in selling you the products and not to use them for themselves. 2 people I know have gone into it over the course of lockdown and post about it in a non-pushy way on social media. They appear to utilize the feature where you can ask someone a question through a stories post. They respond to the questions, whether the questions are their own or real I don't know, and they end it by casually asking if people to DM them if they want to know anything else. It's a bit clever, and to their credit they seem to be doing relatively well. It's the business of the 21st century like the and blockchain are shitty industries. This is what I recently heard in a radio program in our province. This name of distributor guy has earned $104,000 $5 million, selling a health drink, and the radio announcer said that, this is already passive income per month. I was into thinking, how much did this guy earn in commissions? A guy who knew my parents 20 years ago called me the other day. He said that he spent his career as a physical therapist and now that he was nearing retirement, almost 60, he had decided that it was time to start making serious money. He discovered this opportunity for helping people plan for their financial future and build wealth. His company helped high net worth individuals by selling them life insurance annuity products, or something like that. He was very vague in explaining what services he actually sold. Our conversation ended when he asked me to be on a Zoom call with my wife present if I was married so that I would be ready to make a financial commitment. Not MLM, but thought it was kind of funny. I was reading in the library and someone came up to me asking me what I'm reading. Anyways, long story short, he ended up being a life coach. A friend of mine with a good money met so short after he spent or donated all his money and his business to Scientology Church. But they gave him a job. I've always laughed at the work from home pitches. Can you work from home and earn good money? Yes, 100%. Lots of people in this forum do it, I'm sure, but they aren't working from home selling vegan products to family and friends and traveling the world. Primerica. Another one on Facebook, you can get a scholarship program if you buy 8 sets of this product for the price of $100, $5,100, and the product itself is garbage. It's because testimonials surfaced on this social media, claiming that their skin became rash as they applied the product. And their target market was students who were desperate for money as the pandemic ravages our country. And what is so funny here is that this MLM was featured on the national TV as complaints mounts. It's always fishy when something is written in bold and capital. Example, Lewis Howes' YouTube videos have thumbnails like "To find your purpose if you're in life, watch this." To same goes for Jay Shetty's videos. The only video you need to also enroll in my coaching program to that's some right there. Feeding on our weaknesses and insecurities equals their business. A male nurse that was taking care of me after I was gutted like a fish and almost dead from Crohn's disease decided it would be a good idea to tell me about these natural pills that have a modifiable crystal cell, whatever that was supposed to mean, and said it could cure my incurable disease. He was very adamant about their effectiveness and supposed EU-approved status. I knew where this was going right from the start, but I humored him anyway and listened to what he had to say. Apparently, he had already sold quite a few to other patients and was receiving a commission. After he left, I did a quick Google search and I managed to find a forum where people decided to test these pills in a lab -100% sugar. And on their website, all I could find was junk science. As I was leaving the hospital a week later, I thanked the dude for caring for me and told him that this was a dangerous game he'd been playing and that this company is far from legitimate, no matter what they told him. P.S. As concerning as this story may sound, please do be aware that doctors and surgeons do the exact same thing on a regular basis on a much larger scale with drugs way more harmless than a gram of sugar. How has the EU not shut that down? Or that guy getting fired? Subversively using your healthcare job to prescribe pills is the lowest of lows for these MLM wanks. He had that dumb and innocent look about him and always made sure all of the doctors and other medical personnel were out of hearing distance. This is in the best hospital in Bulgaria, by the way. And the corrupt surgeon and director at the hospital lashed out on me and told me I would die after I refused treatment. His whole demeanor was very thug-like. The guy also said he won't do part 2 of my surgery, and subsequently a young, extremely intelligent surgeon at the age of 29, part of the Big Boss surgical unit, said it wasn't right and promised me that he'll do it personally. This was in 2018. So what's the status of these 3 guys now? ML male nurse, N or a corrupted surgeon, has been leading Bulgaria's C0VLD19 response and is in bed with our Prime Minister, aka our dictator. Intelligent and promising young surgeon, left the most prestigious hospital shortly after and moved to another city in a mediocre hospital. He said it was in part due to the treatment I received in there for deciding to take my health into my own hands, threatened, berated, and the fact that the big boss wanted him gone, again because of my insubordinance to the healthcare mafia. He did also mention that the guy really was corrupt and up to no good and that he had proof, which came as no surprise to me. However, he knows that if he were to share this publicly it would mean his life is over. Effed up world.